Good evening and welcome to Perth, where you're joining me at the Qantas domestic terminal here in Western Australia, and we're about to check in for our 16-hour, 25-minute flight from Perth to Rome. Today we will be flying the flagship Qantas 787-9 with a 3-cabin configuration. So we direct flights. Without anything else to say, let's go and get checked in for this flight. Qantas operates international flights, of which there are a few, out of Terminal 3 in Perth. Alright, we're all checked in. Let's get through security and go check out the new lounge that I haven't been to, which has been around for a few years. This is the old terminal with limited capacity and infrastructure compared to the T1 International Terminal, which is a 10-minute drive away. Hopefully, we will see Qantas move to T1 at some stage in the future, which would greatly improve connectivity for travelers and allow them to operate more international flights. The Qantas International Transit Lounge is probably one of the best Qantas business lounges in Australia, which is odd considering only a few flights per day make use of it. Just spotted the Qantas International Lounge here in Perth. I think we're one of the first few passengers inside. Never been here before, so let's go and check it out. Located past the immigration checkpoint in the international section of Terminal 3, the lounge features a semi-outdoor barbecue area and a live cooking station. The lounge consists of a single room cleverly divided into different seating sections. It's the handiwork of Australian designer David Cowan and Sydney Bates' Sumu design. The lounge sports not one but 15 shower suites, so don't expect a queue for a shower here. If relaxing is more your thing, there is a yoga studio which runs complimentary breathwork classes. Alright, it's finally time to board the 16.5-hour flight from Perth to Rome direct. This is the inaugural flight, Qantas 787-9. I'm very much looking forward to it. My longest ever flight, so let's go check it out.
Good evening, sir. Can I help you some champagne?
Yes, please. Thank you.
Are you Mr. Demir?
Yes.
Oh, I saw you Instagram this morning. Oh, this is exciting. I'll speak to you later.
Thank you. Cheers and welcome aboard.
Welcome aboard.
Seat 5K on board the Qantas Dreamliner, Perth to Rome direct. Let's get settled in and let me show you around this seat. Cheers. The business class cabin is situated at the front of the Qantas Boeing 787-9. 42 seats are spread out across 2 different zones, with the majority of the seats being in the forward-facing one. These would be row 1 to 8, with row 10 to 12 being in the mini cabin behind the galley. Seat numbers A and K are adjacent to the windows, while E and F are those in the center. The Qantas 787-9 business class cabin has alternating seats with a staggered configuration. This means your legs slide underneath the seat in front of you. You may also notice the seats alternate between a direct aisle or a direct window position. My favorite ones are the window position as they offer more privacy. Today I'm flying 5K, which is a direct window seat, my favorite. If you want the premier position on this aircraft, 1K would be the one to go for. We're off the ground, settled in. Been handed our pajamas, so I reckon it's time to get comfortable. People often give me shit about wearing shorts, t-shirts, whatever on a business class flight. The reality is that everyone wears pajamas. So if you think people wear suits on business class flights, they don't. Get real, let's get comfortable. Boom, just like that, comfort mode enabled. Dressed in our signature Qantas grey pajamas. Everyone on this flight is dressed the same. It's a big pajama party. It's got my inaugural certificate. This is the points plan, so I'll explain later in this video how exactly I booked this flight. But first, let me give you a little seat tour, see what's going on here, what are the features of this seat. It's very straightforward, but let's have a look anyway. The Qantas 787-9 is very much similar to the A330, but we have a few differences. which are mainly in the upholstery of the seat. Some of the detailing is slightly different as well. And of course, these are a little bit newer. We have some very handy seat controls here, which are very intuitive. It's got a massage function, bed mode, etc. We are on the window seat, which means we have some space between ourselves and the aisle. The seats are staggered, so the seat behind me has direct aisle access, while this one has got a little bit more of a buffer between the aisle and myself. And of course, we have a full power adapter here if you need to charge your devices. There's also a USB charging port and a headphone jack. I brought my own headphones because the Qantas headphones are pretty shit, to be honest. And then we have a light here, a bottle of water, and there's a storage area for magazines or your iPad. Of course, we have plenty of legroom here as well. And then let's take a look at the entertainment. Obviously, I'm watching Succession and there's plenty of stuff to watch on the IFE, which is a reasonable size. It tilts back and forward a little bit, so you can adjust it based on your preferences. Great if you're lying down. And that's pretty much it. We're waiting for the dinner service to start. And then we have breakfast to conclude this flight because it's such a long flight. But let's see what dinner is like. Then I'm gonna try have a nap. We've got all the bedding here. Yeah. Of course, there's also an amenity kit as well. I've already utilized socks in this kit, but let's see what else is in there. We have an eye mask, earplugs, we got some hand cream, face cream, lip balm, a toothbrush, and of course, this particular model is the 100-year anniversary kit. For dinner, I opted for the zucchini and basil soup with parmesan crouton, which was delicious. For the main course, I decided to risk it with a beef fillet accompanied by green beans, potato puree and a salsa verde. Unfortunately, the steak was completely overcooked, but I couldn't fault the presentation. To finish, I couldn't go past the tiramisu, which was okay, but not great. Dare I say, a little bit dry. After dinner, it was time for a nap. Qantas provides a thin but adequate mattress cover, and overall, the bedding quality is pretty good.
I'm gonna have a nap. See you over Europe sometime where we pick up again for breakfast. Good morning and welcome back to the flight from Perth to Rome. We're about 3 hours and 16 minutes away from landing into Rome. Had a great little sleep. I must say the downside of the seat is quite narrow. I'm an average size guy and this is already kind of a max capacity for me. I can't imagine how a larger person will be comfortable on a 16-hour flight, even in business class. But that's it. I had a great sleep. 3 hours away, so I think we'll get up and have some breakfast.
As the sun rose over Europe, I tucked into a simple yet delicious breakfast egg and bacon roll and plenty of black coffee. It wasn't until long before we started our descent into Rome, after a shorter than expected 15 or so hour journey. I booked this flight outright using Qantas points. For this route, the price is fixed at 108,400 points and $435 in taxes. A bargain compared to the otherwise very steep cost of a business class flight. Overall, I had an enjoyable flight, made possible by the fantastic Qantas crew. Although personally I like to break up a trip like this with stopovers, I can certainly see the appeal of leaving Australia at night to wake up in Europe the same day. And just like that, welcome to Rome. What a fantastic inaugural flight with Qantas on the Dreamliner. Now it's time to wrap up and I'll catch my flight to Brussels, which is going to be another challenge. Thank you for watching and see you next time.